Okay, this is the last lesson in the tutorial. The format of this one is going to be different than how we've done things so far. Up until now, we've been creating everything from scratch or building off of previous work. Here, I'm not going to create anything new for this one. Instead, we're going to look at a scene straight out of Galaxy Gulp and dissect it. I'm going to try and explain everything that's happening here so you get a better idea of how this all works together. And to make it a little more interesting, we're going to cover the scene where the dwarf gets shot out of the cannon. So let's launch Hammer and we'll get started. Oh, and this isn't going to be exactly the same as the movie, but that's only because we had to remove one or two models to avoid possible copyright problems. It still functions identically. Alright, go to File, Open, and we're going to need GG-Cannon Shot. Okay, let's get a better view here. Now as you can see, there's a lot going on here compared to the previous segments, but we'll take this one step at a time. A lot of this occurs as one big sequence, so when you activate the trigger in the game, the whole scene plays out. So before we get to that, I want to cover what you're seeing as soon as you start the map. Let's zoom in here a bit. You may have noticed all these shiny balls floating around here. You don't have to worry about them. These are called environment cube maps. What they do is help create more accurate lighting by sampling what the world looks like around them, then reflecting it as necessary. This is strictly a mapping thing. It won't affect anything aside from lighting. And on that note, let's take a look at these floating light bulbs here. As you might guess, these are light sources. Now we do have some light coming in from the sky, but for everything else, that's what these are here for. And if we back up a bit, you'll see another form of lighting called a light spot, which is a dyslexic way of saying a spotlight. The regular light entities will emit light in every direction. These will point it in a focused area, so it's used to light up the cup here, the street lamp here, the station lights, etc. Now you may get confused by seeing these really bright, glowing sections in the map and think that they're light sources too. However, if you get close and click on one of them, you can see they're an entity called an environment sprite, which displays a 2D image in 3D space. They don't give off any light by themselves. But this is all stuff left for a mapping tutorial. I'm just making sure you're not in the dark. Ah! That's another pun! I can't believe I did that. I said I wasn't going to. That was a total coincidence. I'll have to commit seppuku like a disgraced samurai if I do it again. Alright, let's see what else we have. Here's our dragon, obviously. If you click on him, you can see he's just a dynamic prop. If you double click, it'll show what else he's doing in the game. Go to Default Animation, and notice it says Idle. Now if you click on the Model tab, you can see what it'll be doing. So he's just chilling there getting ready for liftoff. If you want, you can take a look at a couple of the other animations. Like here's him breathing heavily, and of course the flyaway sequence at the end. Alright, I'm going to close this. Again, it doesn't matter what position they're in when you preview the animation. It won't affect things in-game. I don't think we ended up showing him in this particular scene because of the camera work, but he was already there prior to this and is in the scene following afterwards, so we may as well have him. There's another prop like this too, the guy loitering outside the store against the pole. If you double click on him, you can see he's just a dynamic prop too. And the default animation here is lean left. Now I would show you what this looks like in the model tab, but this can get messed up if you've just viewed another model like we have, so we'll pass for now. Okay, let's close this. And the next thing I want to show you is this giant walk path circling the map here. This is actually left over from earlier scenes. It's what the antlion uses to walk around in the background. He didn't appear in every shot, but he's walking around constantly in Galaxy Gulp. Let's see if we can find him here. Oh, okay. He's out back behind the building. That must mean I wanted him out of the way for this scene, otherwise I would have put him closer to the path. For most of the scenes, I would have had him start on various points around this path. If you look over here, you can see some of the entities I used to control him. See, here's his AI scripted schedule, Antlion Brain, and that sent him on the Antlion run paths that loop around here. And none of the other NPCs like the Antlions, so you can see I have a whole bunch of AI relationships that keep them from attacking each other. If we double click here, you can see this one is to keep it from attacking the player. And this one is used to keep them friendly with the Metro Cops. You get the idea. And we have more AI relationships scattered around the level here. This is where the Combine soldiers were standing, so I have some AI relationships for them here. And if we go inside the store here, there are a few more for the different characters. See, there are different NPCs here. The Vortigaunt, the cop, Alex, the Combine Soldier still. Actually, this is one of the samurai, but the game will see it as a Combine Soldier. So the more NPCs you have, the more AI relationships you'll need to make sure everyone plays nice. Oh, and you can see there's another trigger here, but all this does is open the doors when people walk in or out. Let's see, what else? Oh, the giant rotating cup. This really belongs more in a mapping tutorial, but just so you know, this uses a physics motor entity, and that controls a plate here at the bottom which the cup is attached to. The cup itself is another dynamic prop. Well, I think that wraps up everything that's going on in this map before we actually start the scene. It has a lot more props and NPCs, but it's basically the same thing we've been working with already. Now let's go step by step over what happens when we activate the trigger.